Let's close things out here with some probably fairly troubling news for our friends over in the Carolinas.
By the way, still upset that I did not take Maxim Bet up on its invitation to the Super Bowl party in LA a couple of years ago. Just what could have been.
I know.
What could have been. So in North Carolina, what we're looking at here is a delay until probably closer to March Madness for the online launch in North Carolina. Now, the window for them to be able to launch sports betting began in early January of 2024 initially and ran through June of 2024. And it looked like prior to the budget process a couple of months ago in North Carolina that launch on the early side was going to be ready to capture the NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl. And then someone got involved. We still don't know who got involved. We can speculate pretty well on who would have had the interest to lobby in the budget process to change a settled and signed bill to now include tethering to certain professional sports organizations as opposed to getting your license directly through the state. But that is ultimately what happened, and that change in particular has slowed this market down pretty noticeably. They were closer to being able to launch in January when it was just going to be the state doing the licensing process, and now you're talking about all of the brands that want to be part of online gaming in North Carolina. They're going to have to go and partner with what is deemed to be a qualified entity, which could be a professional sports franchise, which could be a golf course, which could be a racetrack. We think those are probably the more likely places to have been the sources of where this would have come from in the first place. But now looking like regulators said yesterday, March is the earliest that this would launch. Remember, the law requires them, as I mentioned a minute ago, they got to be up by June, one way or the other. But March Madness is the last large acquisition opportunity up until the NFL launches again in August. So you kind of need to get this done from the operator perspective by March Madness to at least allow one major acquisition opportunity in the first quarter of the year and to make this a more profitable enterprise for the companies and, of course, a more business savvy enterprise for the state to get some tax revenue in.
Hey, friends over in Charlotte, Winston-Salem, Raleigh-Durham, all of you guys, Greensboro, what other North Carolina city do I know? I don't know another one. Anyway, that was pretty good, though, Adam. You know where you can bet on sports.
Geography Matt is back.
You had a
He's
bad
back in force.
Listen. You had a bad NFL season. I get it. You had to get rid of your coach in the middle of the year. I get it. But you can come and you can have some fun in Las Vegas. And that is the home of the Super Bowl as well. And that's the closest you guys are going to get to it this year, is coming over into Las Vegas. Come on out here. Celebrate with us. You can have the Super Bowl in the background. You don't even have to go, but you'll be able to bet on it legally. Stay in one of these awesome hotel rooms out here. Eat in one of the 5 Diamond restaurants. It'll be fantastic. And then you can go back out there and you can bet on March Madness on your own in your own state. But since they're not going to be up for you guys in time, come on out here. We'll have you in Nevada.
And maybe invite Bryce Young to come with you. Because, that's the closest he's going to get to the Super Bowl this year. Like, maybe you do a little charity and maybe try to get Bryce's head right and make Carolina more fun for sports next year.
Absolutely. So we will open you guys with open arm. Come on out here. It'll be amazing. So, Adam, it's pretty interesting. Certainly, this is one of the more interesting pods we've done in a little bit because of that news coming out of Texas. And listen, we are. This is not anytime soon type situation. This is not like we're sitting here saying like, oh man, pressure cooker's on. It's going to be done in 6 months. That's not what we're saying at all. But it certainly lays the groundwork now to where I am fairly confident in saying something is getting done one way or another. I mean, it's either going to be there's either going to be legalized gambling in Texas, or there are going to be new lawmakers in Texas. Like I can tell you this, like something is going to get done one way or another, because there is now a lot of power and influence and money that is going to be behind trying to get something done in that state.
Ask anyone within Nevada politics over the last 20 plus years what the political influence of the Adelson family looks like, and they will tell you quite clearly about the scope of ability to change elections and office holders that family has. And, we'll talk more about this as we get to end of year and start doing look backs on 2023, look aheads to 2024. But when you look at the 4 biggest states in the country, there's some level of action going on in all of them. In New York, there's absolutely going to be another push for an iGaming bill this year. In California, we just told you about the potential attorney general opinion on DFS. You already heard about Florida when it comes to the commission down there looking into daily fantasy sports. And you, of course, have the relaunch of Hard Rock Bet that is still potentially tied up in court, depending on how things play out with West Flagler. And now we just talked about Texas. So for those who were thinking that 5.5 years in, that the velocity of news might slow down, no, it's more just concentrated in a few places.
It's going to be awesome. We will, of course, keep you up to date. And Adam and team over there at legalsportsreport.com. Go in, read all of the words that they are putting down on the site over there. It's the best stuff, the best place for you to get all the stuff that we're talking about and more commentary and everything like that. So be sure, and legalsportsreport.com. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for me and Adam. Do appreciate that support as well. For Adam, I'm Matt. Talk to you guys next week.